When it comes to early 2000s reality television, few shows left a cultural imprint quite like Laguna Beach, the real Orange County. The MTV series wasn't just a teen drama, it was a blueprint for modern reality TV storytelling, blending real-life relationships with narrative arcs that felt straight out of a scripted series. And at the center of its most compelling storyline, the unforgettable rivalry between Kristin Cavallari and Lauren Conrad. Now, years after the show aired, Cavallari is opening up with a candid reflection that might surprise longtime fans, but also confirms what many always suspected: without that rivalry, Laguna Beach might never have become the iconic hit it was. Wave the birth of a reality TV classic. Premiering in 2004, Laguna Beach, the real Orange County followed a group of affluent teenagers navigating life, love, and friendship in Southern California. Unlike earlier reality shows, it introduced a cinematic style, voiceovers, carefully edited storylines, and emotional arcs that made it feel more like a teen soap than a documentary. At the heart of the show were two very different personalities. Lauren Conrad, often portrayed as the sweet, relatable girl next door. Kristin Cavallari, cast as the confident, outspoken villain. Their contrasting personas weren't just coincidental, they became the driving force behind the show's most talked about moments. Collision: the rivalry that defined a generation. The tension between Cavallari and Conrad largely revolved around their shared romantic interest, Stephen Colletti. What started as a typical high school love triangle quickly escalated into one of reality TV's most iconic feuds. Viewers were drawn into the drama. Who was Stephen really in love with? Was Kristin truly the mean girl, or was she misunderstood? Was Lauren the innocent victim, or just edited that way? This dynamic created a narrative hook that kept audiences tuning in week after week. Reflecting on it now, Cavallari has acknowledged that this rivalry wasn't just a subplot, it was the storyline. There wouldn't have been a show without it, she has essentially suggested in recent interviews, pointing out how central the tension was to the series' success. Clapperboard: reality versus editing. The truth behind the drama. One of the most fascinating aspects of Laguna Beach is how much of it was shaped in the editing room. Cavallari has been vocal over the years about how producers crafted specific narratives, often exaggerating or even manufacturing conflict. She has claimed that scenes were sometimes reshot or staged. Dialogue could be taken out of context. Cast members were encouraged to play into certain roles. In this context, the rivalry between Cavallari and Conrad becomes even more intriguing. Was it real? Yes, to an extent. But it was also amplified for entertainment. Cavallari has admitted that while there were genuine tensions, the show leaned heavily into portraying her as the antagonist. Meanwhile, Conrad was positioned as the emotional core of the series. This dynamic wasn't accidental, it was storytelling. TV-wide audiences couldn't look away. The Cavallari-Conrad rivalry worked because it tapped into universal themes. Love triangles, jealousy and insecurity, friendship and betrayal, identity and self-image. For teenage viewers, it felt relatable. For older audiences, it was nostalgic or voyeuristic. But more importantly, it created a clear narrative structure. A hero, Conrad. A villain, Cavallari. A romantic conflict, Colletti. This formula would later influence countless reality shows, from The Hills Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Glowing star from high school drama to pop culture legacy. After Laguna Beach, both Cavallari and Conrad went on to build successful careers, but in very different ways. Lauren Conrad transitioned into fashion and lifestyle branding, becoming a symbol of aspirational living. Kristin Cavallari embraced her bold personality, later starring in shows like Very Cavallari and building her own business empire. Despite their divergent paths, their shared history on Laguna Beach continues to define a significant part of their public personas. Magnifying glass: rewriting the narrative, Kristin's perspective today. In recent years, Cavallari has taken steps to reclaim her narrative. Through interviews, podcasts, and social media, she has offered a more nuanced view of what really happened behind the scenes. Her perspective challenges the original portrayal. She wasn't simply the bad girl. Conrad wasn't always the good girl. The truth was far more complex than what viewers saw. By acknowledging the importance of the rivalry, Cavallari isn't just reflecting on the past, she's reframing it. She recognizes that the drama, however manipulated, gave the show its edge and made it memorable. Handshake: where do Kristin and Lauren stand now? One question fans still ask: are they friends today? The answer is complicated. While there's no ongoing feud, the two haven't become close friends either. Over the years, both have expressed a sense of closure and mutual respect, but they've also moved on to entirely different lives. And perhaps that's fitting. Their rivalry belonged to a specific moment in time, a snapshot of youth, emotion, and reality TV experimentation. Bar graph the formula that changed reality TV forever. Cavallari's recent comments highlight a broader truth about reality television: conflict drives engagement. Without the tension between her and Conrad, Laguna Beach might have lacked a central storyline, emotional stakes, viewer investment. In other words, it might have been just another show about privileged teens, interesting but not iconic. Instead, it became a cultural phenomenon that paved the way for future hits. Movie camera: the evolution of reality storytelling. Looking back, Laguna Beach marked a turning point in how reality TV was produced and consumed. Before it, shows were more observational. After it, they became narrative-driven. The Cavallari-Conrad rivalry played a key role in that shift. It showed producers that audiences crave character arcs, conflict can be curated, editing can shape perception. This approach is now standard across the genre. Speech balloon: fan reactions, then versus now. At the time, fans were deeply divided. Team Lauren versus Team Kristin. Heated debates on forums and early social media. Strong emotional investment in the outcome. Today, with more awareness of how reality TV works, fans view the rivalry differently. Many now re-evaluate Cavallari's portrayal, question the editing choices, appreciate the show as a constructed narrative. This shift reflects a more media-savvy audience, one that understands the mechanics behind the drama. Brain: the psychology of a perfect rivalry. What made this particular rivalry so effective? It wasn't just the love triangle, it was the contrast. Kristin Cavallari, Lauren Conrad: outspoken, reserved, confident, sensitive, rebellious, responsible. These opposing traits created a natural tension that felt authentic, even when it was enhanced by production. It's a classic storytelling device, one that dates back to literature and film. Crystal ball: could Laguna Beach work today? In today's media landscape, things would likely be very different. Cast members have more control over their image. Social media offers real-time perspectives. Audiences are more skeptical of reality. Would the Cavallari-Conrad rivalry still resonate? Probably, but it would unfold in a more transparent, less manipulated way. Or perhaps the magic of Laguna Beach lies precisely in its timing, a moment when reality TV was still finding its voice. Checkered flag: final thoughts. The rivalry that made history. Kristin Cavallari's reflection isn't just a nostalgic look back, it's an acknowledgement of what made Laguna Beach special. The rivalry with Lauren Conrad wasn't just drama, it was the engine that powered the entire series. Without it, the show might have faded into obscurity. With it, it became legendary. And in the end, that's the paradox of reality TV. The moments that feel the most real are often the ones shaped the most carefully.